Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Open Sounds with Hollywood Ghost here on the tube. I am Hollywood Ghost the rapper here on the channel. This is my main channel. I meant my main channel. This is my beat channel. I don't know why I'm saying that. um we are back with a new episode and we're gonna be talking about in this one here on the podcast. We're gonna be talking about the mixtape Ultra 85 and we're going to be talking about what really, inspired the concepts from Ultra 85 that really, changed my music because it's not just only Ultra 85, it's other songs that really inspired it too. But excuse me, I didn't mean to do that. Um, oh, crap, now I lost my thought. But the first thing I will say though for the concept of Ultra 85 and the reasoning behind what Bob did for it, the mixtape Ultra 85 is really something else. Because if you guys don't know, because now I'm gonna get into it now. I'm gonna get into the episode now. The first reasoning why he did Ultra 85 the way he did, I'm gonna go to my main channel for a minute. I'm gonna switch to the main channel. The reason why Bob did the mixtape Ultra 85 the way he did was because of how certain things really changed over the years for him. And the whole point of the mixtape being what it is, because everybody don't seem to understand the mixtape Ultra 85 is I'm trying to say it the best way I can by not messing it up, but also explaining the reasonings for his other mixes. Because I gotta go. We're gonna start from Ultra 85 and work our way back. That's kind of what I'm trying to say or do right now. For the beginning part of this episode, I know it's been a bit choppy. It's just that I'm a little hungry and I'm a bit tired because I woke up like a few hours ago. But I'm trying to get the podcast going. Um, the thing is though, the way how Ultra 85 is, it's the end all kind of thing that Bob did for his life. He wanted to speak on something that was really truthful and something that really hurted him the most, and rap was all he had, music was all he had growing up, and having a bad way of growing up in Maryland, in Gaithersburg, Maryland, and stuff like that. He had certain ups and downs. Bob did something many other rappers or people don't do, or he did that they don't see, or many people won't follow. And that's one of the big things that really inspired me a lot by Bob because he did something impossible and he had the cleanest come up. And to get all the way up until this point of Ultra 85, it really shows you what he did for me, and not just only me, he did for other people and inspires so many other people a certain way. And the things that Robert did leading up to this was he put himself in a position that was a position that many people are not willing to do. And I'm glad Bob did what he did because the fact of doing College Park, Vinyl Days, Under Pressure Volume 2 mixtape, No Pressure, Junction Nacho Volume 4, Incredible True Story, Under Pressure Volume 1, Under Pressure, what do you call it, mixtape? Bobby Tantino Volume 1, 2, and 3, and Supermarket nonetheless, especially Supermarket because people really hated him when he did Supermarket, and the mixtape Confession of a Dangerous Mind and stuff like that. You know, that he did the song with Marshall on the song Homicide. And it's really a whole big mindset if you look at it because remember he got signed to Def Jam back in 2013 in January, and ever since then he's been on an up and up since then. And with him doing what he does leading up to that point when he had stopped making music for a minute in 2020 during C19, you thought that that was the end of Bob. And then he came back and then he's like, oh, I'm doing Vinyl Days and then College Park. And then he did what he did with, the other mixtapes and stuff like that leading up to Ultra 85 because he's finally done. But you have to realize the concept behind Bob was really he turned certain things around because he wanted to make the whole journey, or like the whole concept of him coming up, not just a piece of where he is and speak of where he is now, what he's feeling at that moment, like how he did Youngster Natural Volume 4, Confession of a Dangerous Mind, and, Vinyl Days or College Park and stuff like that. He didn't want to rap about that leading up to that point for Ultra 85. He was just like doing his thing about explaining what he felt leading past that project. So you don't look at Bob's mixtapes as like the chapter mixtape. You look at it like as the staple mixtape point. Like, for example, Under Pressure Volume 1 was leading up to the whole reveal of Incredible True Story. Incredible True Story was leading up all the way up until the mixtape Everybody. Then the mixtape Everybody was leading up to the mixtape Young Sinatra Volume 4, if I'm saying that right. And then leading up to Under Pressure Volume 2 mixtape No Pressure. Oh, not Volume 2. And then you had that, then he goes to doing Vinyl Days as like him saying he's done with the contracts, he's done with the highlife business, and Vinyl Days was the final mixtape. And to put the staple on that, he did College Park. You see I'm going? You see where I'm going with this? It's like one mixtape he does that leads to the other one is what's the physical response to him doing what he's doing. And then doing Ultra 85 as the final one through what he believes is his, final staple point is what he's been working on for the 10-year gap through everything. And it's the second part to Incredible True Story. And Ultra 85 connecting to Incredible True Story, it's really something else, because I'm trying to say it in a way where it's like really crucial, because the reason behind it is that the way how he did the songs like Lord Willin', Fade Away, he did like Whoa, Stainless, and he did like the other song that's my heartfelt one, my favorite on the mixtape. I can't remember the name, but when he did those songs, he really put a certain effort into it, and he really changed a lot of things, and a lot of people didn't know where he was going to go. And knowing Bob, if you listen to him, you would know that he wanted to change things up and switch things up a certain way. Hence the mixtape. I don't know why my voice went a high octave right there. The mixtape Cyberpunk, the mixtape Supermarket, people hated it. If you follow the journey of Bob, or you see where he was going with some of the concepts of what he was building leading up to that point, he knew that he wanted to do something that speaks on life. And many people don't like that when you talk about life that way. And for him to do the mixtape, I say Cyberpunk again, the mixtape Supermarket, they did not like when he switched that, because Supermarket was after Young Sinatra Volume 4 or before it, and people didn't like that factor of how Bob was. So after the mixtape Everybody, he did Bobby Santino Volume 2, and then he did Supermarket, and then he did Young Sinatra Volume 4. So people didn't really like that aspect of Bob, the way how he switched that from doing something dope and gritty like Bobby Tarantino Volume 2 to then do something soft and weird, abstract on the guitar with no feeling to it like Supermarket. Like, that made no sense. You can't just sit there and be like, oh, he was at his peak with Everybody, and then he dropped down to Bobby Santino. He was still bumping stuff. It was like a banger kind of thing, and then he'd pull out Supermarket. Like, no, I'm done. I pulled the plug on Bob. I'm not listening to him anymore. Like, you pull your headphones out the phone and throw your phone on the bed. You're done. You know what I mean? Or you throw your phone on the couch or wherever you at, and you're done listening to that. Yeah, so it's like people don't seem to realize where he was going with certain key things, and a lot of people don't seem to understand that if you do this or that, it shouldn't really. If you do this or that, it really doesn't stop you from being who you are. It just shows that people don't have that right ear or that right respect or concept of life with them to understand that kind of music. And that's why you see I put cyber. I'm getting pissed off right now in the podcast. I'm trying not to lose it, but I'm trying to speak clearly to make sense of what I'm trying to say with Supermarket, with the mixtape. It really shows you how many people don't really like that other aspect of speaking the truth, because even I do it. Because in my music, I talk about life and death and resurrection a certain way in my music, and talk about Steve Jobs and certain key things, and Anubis, my alter ego, my basically my other personality. I speak through in my music when I'm in that, like, beast pissed off kind of mode. You know what I mean? I speak a certain way differently, and you guys won't hear that because I'm still the same person. Because I can't really alter my voice and my music the way I want to, and I'm not gonna do like voices or voice changes with my voice in my recordings. I feel out of place, and that doesn't feel like me. So that's just my music and how I am. But one thing I will say though, through the other stuff, is that basically all the things that you see I normally, you know, do through my music is more relating towards what I felt because of Bob, and what, the normal things, what, he did. So before I go and talk about my music and myself and show you the music I made, I'm not going to play some of them. I'm just going to show you them through the thumbnail like this here on the main channel. Um, the song Overthinking, I wouldn't really talk about that. But the way how Bob did things leading up to Ultra 85, again, was more of like talk about life a certain way, but talking on the aspect for him, PLP, peace, love, and positivity. And he has a song on the mixtape on Ultra 85 about PLP, peace, love, and positivity. And that song is a heartfelt, sad song to me, and it makes me want to cry sometimes. Um, but it's really Ghost in the Machine is one of them. And I already wrote one song already so far off of the mixtape. I'm not going to tell you which one, because I want to work on it more in detail, because I want to probably release as a single in the near future. I don't know how, but um, and no, it's not a promo single that you think that's coming up in the lineup of songs I have set to be released on iTunes and Spotify. So don't think that I'm gonna release the one based off of Ultra 85 that fast for you guys. No. Um, the factor of basically saying that Bob did so much through Ultra 85, because, like I said, the song Ghost in the Machine, if I say Ghost in the Shell, the movie, because I could do a concept based on that too. Oh man, excuse me. Um, the song that I could do could have a theming concept or format reference about Ghost in the Machine, because Ghost in the Machine is also something like that based off of Ghost in the Shell too. Because also I could do the thing about Ghost in the Shell. I think I worded that wrong. If I said Ghost in the Machine, the song from Bob, that was an accident. I meant to say Ghost in the Shell. I'm thinking of the anime movie, and I'm also thinking about the movie with Scar. So because Ghost in the Machine, Ghost in the Michelle, Ghost in the Shell, um, is a dope anime, format concept movie that's really dope, and I like the version with Scar from Black Widow. She's really dope in the movie, and like I said, I feel that other heartfelt connection, and I see the reasoning why she went back. Every time when I watch the movie, I always pay attention to that scene at the end of the movie where she goes back to the little Japanese apartment buildings, and she looks in the apartment. She looks at the lady that's in there, the old lady, and she sees her a certain way, and she tries to ask her if she wants tea. Does she want to sit down and talk? A stranger came to her apartment and wanted to ask her questions or talk to her or whatever, and she wants to figure out what's going on, but she feels like this strong connection to her, and she doesn't know why. And Scar has these visions in her mindset about like her mom, and she feels this connection with the lady, and she doesn't know how or why, but her mom knows that connection feeling, and she feels like even though she's a stranger, she knows that it could be true or not. And throughout that feeling, she basically realized, like, oh, this could be my daughter. And she doesn't know who I am. I don't know who she is. We're acting like strangers to each other. But I would tell her or reassure her that this feeling she has is not going to go away because I am her mom. In another alternate lifestyle or a lifetime, she was my daughter. That's kind of the feeling of that scene in Ghost in the Shell in the movie. It really corresponds with what I felt listening to the song on the mixtape Ultra 85, the song Ghost in the Machine. I feel that feeling from Bob on that song, from that scene. I feel that from Scarlett on that song. And throughout that feeling, it goes up and down here and there. So to tell you the whole concept of throughout Ultra 85, that's one of the main songs on the mixtape. And the song Teleport is another one that really hits me heavy because Teleport speaks on my life. And like I said, a lot of things that I would, think about through everything is the same way too. Like I explained the feeling with Scarlett from Ghost in the Shell from the movie on Ghost in the Machine. Same thing. I can have that same, connection feeling with Teleport. Don't get me started on Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That's my favorite movie, Quentin Tarantino or whatever. I don't watch Quentin Tarantino movies, but the only two I have is Pulp Fiction and Hollywood. You know what I mean? But Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is my favorite movie because I like the concept of Cliff Booth in the movie. And I have a song based off of the movie called Once Upon a Time in Queens. And that song is going to be coming soon, but it's not based off of Bob. So you wouldn't think that the song Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, my song called Once Upon a Time in Queens, is based off of Bob. It's not. Oh, when Bob beat me to the punch, though, one thing you could give Bob credit for, he did beat me to the punchline of trying to release a song called that based off the movie. So I'm like, dang it, okay, I can't do a Quentin Tarantino concept song based off the movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood because he beat me to it. But I could do the song still Once Upon a Time in Queens based off the other person I'm trying to write the song off of. The original song, when that comes out, is gonna be really special because it's a dope heartfelt song. Or not. Only thing I say though, I talk about Margot Robbie in the hook with me or whatever, so it's kind of a cool little thing. Because like I said, I'm playing off the movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, like a theme. So, but yeah, but the whole point of Ultra 85, Bob went ahead and really did something that is unthinkable, and the feeling of capping what he did with Bobby, because Robert was trying to give Bob the direction, what he wanted to do. So he ended up giving the other Robert, because there's another Robert there with him, that's his engineer, Bobby Campbell, on that. He went ahead and tried to visualize what Bob wanted, and he had to mix it the right way in order to get that real sound through him on the mixtape. And it really was special and really was something. And that's the whole point of Ultra 85, because he was able to bring that out in Bob's voice. And for him and Six to be on the beat pad and do his thing or do what he's doing or whatever, trying to help make the music come to life and try to help bring out the other elements and stuff like that. They were really having a lot of fun doing it and putting what he wanted forward on the mixtape and forward through the feeling on the mixtape. He had to dig deep the other way and do things differently than he normally would on another mixtape like Young Sinatra Volume 4 or the mixtape College Park, like how he dig deep on the song Light Year. That's really hard for, and I have a song based off of that. And the song I want to do for that one is more relating towards Kanye, like Last Call, because Bob did his version of that, of Last Call on Young Sinatra Volume 4, like Kanye or whatnot, and I want to do my version like that, but with the song like and on the song Light Year that he did on College Park. So it's kind of a double header on that. I can't speak on that right now because, like I said, I don't want to go into details of my music yet, but that's just how much influence Bob got on me and other people over the years. And also, fun fact, when I was doing the mixtape Hong Kong King back in 2016, when I was working on my first concert album mixtape at 18 years old, that mixtape, Bob was the one to help me through that, and it was the mixtape Incredible True Story. So that's another fun fact for you guys to know. And also the mixtape Under Pressure Volume 1 was also the mixtape that helped me got through it too, also as well. So don't think that Bob had no influence on me back then when I was young and doing my music, and I was only 17, 18 years old at the time. So for me to now evolve past that to do what I do now, it's really special. And to sit here and tell you guys all these important things, what means a lot to me, it speaks on so many other levels than what I can normally feel or think about. And I love that feeling. And I hope that people really see that and really look at my music and look at it that way, because it speaks on so many other levels. And being this open or vulnerable in a way, I guess, um, is not something that I would normally do because I keep everything close to the vest. And a lot of people wouldn't really know what it feels like being alone like this and having nobody to talk to and nobody to really listen to you a certain way and speak on things that are real in life. And nobody could relate to some degree if I don't go out and reach out to people. But it's hard to be social the other way and nonetheless be social and speak on things that are deep on this level like this with music nonetheless, because I have the potential, I have the things with me to evolve or get better or change and whatnot, but it's like nobody's out there reaching back, and that's what hurts. And many people don't seem to realize what that means. So I could work a 40-hour 9 to 5, go to work, be around my coworkers or whatever, and try to have a small convo, but I feel like none of us know, nothing is being reached out. Like, I'm not reaching out to this person this way, this person not reaching out to me this way. We're just here to work. I understand going to work is like you're there to work, you're not there to make friends and stuff like that. Someone had said to me a certain way and it hurted me the other way, but I really pushed out of that feeling of hurt from that. But it wouldn't hurt to get to know your coworker, to be friendly with them, or be friends on some level with them, and that's what I wanted, and I never had that. And still, even with my day job, my 9 to 5, it's still hard to be social with people that way. So the only way I could think of being myself is like this in the podcast and speaking the truth and doing things that feel all right to me, and knowing that I could be myself the other way and I could take things to a higher level or a lower level at my free will without the cost of basically someone judging or putting me in a position of pain or hurt. Excuse me for a second. Mm, it really hurts right now trying to like do this podcast. 'Cause like I said, I'm a little bit hungry and I've been up since 8 something this morning. So it's not easy right now. Um So yeah, so that's Ultra 85, and then now let me go ahead and show you now the little pieces here in the podcast in the episode about Ultra 85 and what I explained. Hey, it's your boy Mr. Hollywood Ghost, aka Hollywood Ghost the rapper. Um, I really don't know where I'm gonna go with this intro, but I I haven't been on the main channel for a minute, but there's a reason why, and for this reason is that I've been busy with a lot of projects. Even though I said I was coming back with a lot of music this summer vacay, but um, one thing I will say that for this it's different, and I never done something like this before. I want to know how I could do this in the perfect way possible, and everything that I can. For this special vid, it's coming off of, I'm still feeling this happy feeling from dealing one heartfelt thing that just happened a couple days ago during the weekend. I went to go see Alien Romulus, one of my favorite movies of all time. with my family. They kind of did a special thing for me for my birthday, and it was one heartfelt moment I needed to focus on. I can't do two heartfelt feelings at the same time, and that's basically, listening to the mixtape from Bob Ultra 85 here, the last final mixtape from him, and also watching the most heartfelt, dopest movie of all time to me at the same time. I can't really work on both feelings that way at the same time. So I wanted to save this vid for a later time to now work on it. And I want to go ahead and do a reaction vid on the main channel with me reacting to the mixtape because this is my first one. I think so. That's that. But you could tell right here in the reaction vid about me explaining my feelings through Ultra 85. You could watch the full vid on the main channel about me explaining Ultra 85 and what it did for me. And like I said, how much of the feeling evolved or changed for me and what Bob really did over the years and how it all led up to Ultra 85 because now I can do my own Ultra 85, which is not going to be worked on yet because it's a special project and I want a lot of things to go right with it. And it's in the near future. But trust me, Ultra 85, my Ultra 85 won't come anytime soon. Not yet. Because I still got to work on Renovation and my third concert album, my sophomore album, Stolen Kings, the album, and the fourth one. So, yeah. I just wanted to brag about that a little bit. I was trying to give it. I'm like, shit. I was thinking in the back of my head, should I open my mouth and say that, or should I wait? But I'm just like, you know what? I already talked about Renovation. People still waiting for the mixtape from the album for me, for Renovation, and people still waiting for the third one, my sophomore album mixtape. And I'm just like, I'm busy working on life right now, so I can't really say I'm not working on music because I'm still writing. I have like freaking 49 songs now on my phone ready to be recorded and edited and released. I'm not kidding you. I literally have 49 songs. I'm still stacking up songs. I had recorded how many songs before Hong Kong King? And then after that, since then, I've been writing music. And I have 49 songs, including the ones that are not even worked on or released. Okay. So I have like a good amount. But I can only count 49 in my memory right now that I know that I wrote so far. So that's just one of the things I would say for that. But we're going back to the channel. Let me go ahead and do this for you guys. So the thing is though about doing my music a certain way, most people don't seem to realize how all the main things that I normally would feel through my music is really special because everything that I did was for a reason, because you could tell from Pink Sunset that's on iTunes right now all the way leading to the song I did during the time when Mac had died and everything leading back to how I came up. A lot of people don't seem to realize that I put certain effort into making my music the way it is, and a lot of people don't seem to like it in some manner. But yet again, you have to remember, I did so much things that really important to me that turned a lot of things around into what I do now. Because if it wasn't for what I did back then, I couldn't be who I am now as this YouTube rapper making music and, doing my thing in a way, trying to make all of this work. And a lot of people wouldn't really seem to understand that if Bob inspired me to do this, or he inspired me to do that, or something, or whatever, people wouldn't really realize that so many things got really put aside in my life just to make it work, or there's certain things I gave up to make this work. So nobody would understand what I had to give to get to this position and do certain things that I never thought possible, because I made certain things that was really, bigger than anything that I could think of. And it was a lot. And for some of the things that I done, especially like leading up. Let me see if I could find it. Yeah, because like for example, 54 lines, that was based off of Bob's other song that he did. 44 bars. 54 lines is my 44 bars because it's my song based off of 54 Bob's song 44 bars or 44 more. The song 54 lines is based off of that. But the way how I wrote it like how he did 44 more in a way with Mac's song programs, because I was trying to write it a certain way, because my song that's going to be the part 2 to that song is going to be really dope, and it's connecting in a way where people would realize that there's another version to the song, and they wouldn't think that I would ever do something like that, because my music had so much influence from other things, especially like I said with Bob, like how he did Ultra 85. But the only downside to some of the things that I would talk about through that was really important to me, because not many people would listen to what I have to say, and that's, like I said earlier when I talk about the things, like I said, I kept close to the vest. I say certain things I keep close to the vest in my songs. And if people don't take the time to sit there and listen to my songs to understand what I'm trying to say, you wouldn't really understand what I wrote over the years. I did not do this. I did not get up the other day and said I wanted to be a rapper. I did not say I want to get up and do something where I'm a tuber like this. I did not say I wanted to get up and do things like some big hot shot or whatever. I got up the other day thinking like, okay, I want to get up and I want to say something that's really heartfelt and special and means the world to me, but I want someone else to feel the same thing from me, but get inspired and motivated on top of that. So if I didn't change a few people's lives, I just want to change one person's life with my music. And that's my key thing. And a lot of people wouldn't really see that. And I put a lot of work in building my brand and my business as a YouTube rapper and as a content creator / concept creator. Everything you see I build is original. Everything I done up until this point was all me. There was no other hand in none of this stuff that I done. It's because of like people like Bob that inspired me to do all this stuff on my own. And like Little Craze. If it wasn't for him, half white, half Cambodian Asian rapper from Minnesota, if it wasn't for Little Craze, Mr. Alexander Ooh, KID, King in Disguise Entertainment, if it wasn't for him changing and saving my life the way how it was back then when I was completely lost and doing music as a hobby, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be who I am now, sitting here making this podcast in the near future for you guys. You would never think a random 13-year-old kid making a podcast in his room, coming from school, from middle school, being bullied every day, to now sit here and now have 1 million views on his channel, have 4 channels and a brand and a business running from home, and working his dream job and doing it as a tuber and working a 9-to-5 day job and stuff like that, and living his dream the way he wants to now. I done it. I put myself in a position to create the content, to do things that I care about on the channel and do things that I never thought possible. And now it's thanks to some of y'all or some of the fans or people that believe in me or my fam, nonetheless, help me out, make this all become real. And that's what I could say, that I could finally sit down here and say that I done something that's important and critical to me, So all that was stemming from stuff like Bob, how he did Ultra 85, and how he did things from back then. If it wasn't for me coming across Bob or certain other people, I wouldn't do my music and lead everything up to what it is now. Like doing original songs here in the playlist on the main channel, my singles that I released off the album, these songs are all original too, by the way, from Hong Kong King. Yes, all the songs leading up to what I did from the album being released, you know what I mean, to doing the mixtape being released, the song that was special to me, and the song about my grandpa that's on the album, you know what I mean? And all the remixes and covers that I did over the years leading up to now, it was like a lot. So people don't seem to realize how much work I put into building the channel. And you guys see everything from right here. And I got to change this right here because I'm not 27. I'm not 26. I'm 27 now. Like a lot of things change over the years, and all my links are right here. So that's just some of the things that I'm just telling you guys. Like, I would not have 1G fans on my channel. I would not have 2 million views on my main channel. It's because of you guys, and you guys, believing in some of the little things I've done. And back then, I had figured out the Google algorithm of what people like to click on and what I would do to get people to click on my stuff. And I done that. I figured it out to some degree back then, so people could then understand what to click on and what, to really pay attention to. So between the main channel and the beat channel here and doing the gaming channel, it's all a lot of things I put into and thought. I did not just get up and said I want to be this or be that or do this or do that. I took the time to understand and study this music stuff and study the people I look up to, like Bob, Nate, NF, G-Eazy, Cuddy to some degree. Like looking up to certain people that really gave me this motivation to do this stuff. This is all because of what I learned from them. And now I'm doing this all on my own, doing this without now my friend Manuel by my side. He helped me out. Without him, I wouldn't be where I am now also as well. So he was a big major part in the beginning of starting this music journey or stuff with me with the tube, and I wouldn't make it this far. So, but that's just my take on that and what Ultra 85 done for me and what Bob did for me in a whole. So, because of him, I would not be where I am now. And watching the documentary movie on how he did the mixtape Ultra 85 that's out now, he was crying at the end of the movie when he was working on the second to last song on the mixtape. That's the last song he recorded in the studio with everybody and the guys and Bobby Campbell and stuff like that. And 6, the song City of Stars. He had trouble trying to record that song. He kept crying through the song. He had to stop recording and cry and talk for a second, and because he's doing the movie, so he's talking to the camera and the guy recording the movie, and he's crying. He put his iPhone 14 down, and he was starting to cry, and he's like, everything I've been through, I'm now giving up what I love, and rap making music up until that point really hurted him, and it hurted me too. It hurted him, it hurted me, and I was almost about to cry when I saw that in the movie, and I couldn't believe how Bob felt, and that's how he felt from being hurt, being molested, being homeless, being ignored by his dad, not being there, his dad not taking care of him the way he was supposed to, being kidnapped in a way and almost losing his life. Then doing the gang stuff he did. He didn't take nobody's life. He didn't use the knife to stab nobody. He didn't take the piece, load the clip, and pull the trigger. He didn't do that shit. He really, grew up through that, and he now had nothing to now being a fucking millionaire. My bad for cussing in the podcast. And he now has a son. He has a second wife now, and he got his first VMA Moon Man from MTV, and he done things, and he's able to go to places or do things he never thought possible. And that's the same motivation and inspiration Bob gave me. And I know that when my time comes, even though I'm 27 years old now and I feel like I didn't do much, I felt like I did a lot leading up until this point of me being this old. And I want one person to take something away from what I done or said in my music in this life and be inspired and motivate themselves or inspire themselves from me, like what Bob did for me. And that's what I'm trying to do for the generation coming up under me. So that's my take on my music from Bob and the concepts of what I created from what I was inspired by, and me talking about Ultra 85 this way. Because this episode of the podcast is long a bit, but it's the truth. It's the truth. And like I said, I didn't mean to cuss earlier, but like I said, it's the real me, the real truth, no filter to some degree, no scripted script going for the podcast here. This is just me speaking the truth about something that really hurts me a lot, you know? So, but anyway, this is Hollywood Ghost, Rohan, the rapper on, the tube, and Mr. Ghost as Isoland Garrett XP here on the gaming channel also well, because I also do my outro the same way or similar. But thank y'all for watching this podcast episode of Open Sounds with Hollywood Ghost or listening to it. And yeah, I see you guys in the next episode, and this is it.